audio and video services. And so I contacted Lighthouse Streaming and Audio, and they were very quick to respond. They were able to, even though it was the last minute, they were able to fit us into their schedule, and they provided us with technicians and equipment to record our sessions, and we'll be able to provide the people who are speaking at those sessions with great video of themselves. I would highly recommend them. I highly recommend Lighthouse Streaming and Audio. I had nothing but a pleasant experience, and if we come back to Waco again, which we hope to do, I know I'll be in touch with them.
Hello, my name is Roy Gillis, CEO of Lighthouse Streaming, and you're watching Centex Sports Network.
My name is Debbie Kimbrell. I am the administrative assistant here at Anderson Chapel. I also work as part of the media ministry. It was great working with Lighthouse. Everyone was very professional, came in to do video recording and streaming for a conference that we hosted here on time. They did what they needed to do, was seamless and transparent. It was great. And feedback, everyone was impressed. So it went out, it was a conference level, so a state level event, and everyone was impressed with the product and the result. We got the DVDs too, which people purchased, and they were impressed with those. It was great overall.
Hello, my name is Roy Gillis, founder and CEO of Lighthouse Streaming. Over the last 4 years, we've had some tremendous successes, none of which could have been accomplished without you, our clients, and our viewers. From my family and the staff of Lighthouse Streaming, thank you.
My name is Tashay Sayes. I'm a music major at MCC, and I'm so happy to be here. It's crazy how I got here.
My name is Emily Adams. I'm the marketing director for the Texas Asphalt Pavement Association. We are here at our 3rd annual MAPS conference at the Waco Convention Center in beautiful Waco, Texas. I think the event has exceeded all of our expectations. We had an amazing turnout and great sessions and nothing but positive feedback. So this is our first conference in a convention center, and I'm used to working with hotels where there's like one person to talk to for everything. And so at the last minute, we realized we needed audio and video services. And so I contacted Lighthouse Streaming and Audio, and they were very quick to respond. They were able to, even though it was the last minute, they were able to fit us into their schedule, and they provided us with technicians and equipment to record our sessions, and we'll be able to provide the people who are speaking at those sessions with great video of themselves. I would highly recommend them. I highly recommend Lighthouse Streaming and Audio. I had nothing but a pleasant experience, and if we come back to Waco again, which we hope to do, I know I'll be in touch with them.
Hello, my name is Roy Gillis, CEO of Lighthouse Streaming, and you're watching Centex Sports Network.
My name is Debbie Kimbrell. I am the administrative assistant here at Anderson Chapel. I also work as part of the media ministry. It was great working with Lighthouse. Everyone was very professional, came in to do video recording and streaming for a conference that we hosted here on time. They did what they needed to do, was seamless and transparent. It was great. And feedback, everyone was impressed. So it went out, it was a conference level, so a state level event, and everyone was impressed with the product and the result. We got the DVDs too, which people purchased, and they were impressed with those. It was great overall.
Hello, my name is Roy Gillis, founder and CEO of Lighthouse Streaming. Over the last 4 years, we've had some tremendous successes, none of which could have been accomplished without you, our clients, and our viewers. From my family and the staff of Lighthouse Streaming, thank you.
My name is Tashay Sayes. I'm a music major at MCC, and I'm so happy to be here.
My name is Emily Adams. I'm the marketing director for the Texas Asphalt Pavement Association. We are here at our third annual MAPS conference at the Waco Convention Center in beautiful Waco, Texas. I think the event has exceeded all of our expectations. We had an amazing turnout and great sessions and nothing but positive feedback. So this is our first conference in a convention center, and I'm used to working with hotels where there's like one person to talk to for everything. And so at the last minute, we realized we needed audio and video services. And so I contacted Lighthouse Streaming and Audio, and they were very quick to respond. They were able to, even though it was the last minute, they were able to fit us into their schedule, and they provided us with technicians and equipment to record our sessions, and we'll be able to provide the people who are speaking at those sessions with great video of themselves. I would highly recommend them. I highly recommend Lighthouse Streaming and Audio. I had nothing but a pleasant experience, and if we come back to Waco again, which we hope to do, I know I'll be in touch with them.
Hello, my name is Roy Gillis, CEO of Lighthouse Streaming, and you're watching Centex Sports Network.
My name is Debbie Kimbrell. I am the administrative assistant here at Anderson Chapel. I also work as part of the media ministry. It was great working with Lighthouse. Everyone was very professional, came in to do video recording and streaming for a conference that we hosted.
Hello, my name is Roy Gillis, CEO of Lighthouse Streaming, and you're watching Centex Sports Network.
My name is Debbie Kimbrell. I am the administrative assistant here at Anderson Chapel. I also work as part of the
And happy Thursday to everybody out there today. It's Friday Eve. Some of y'all just now clocking out of work. Some of you guys on your way into work. Want to thank you guys for joining in with us today on Centex Primetime. We got plenty to talk about today here on the show. Obviously, it is March Madness here on the show. March Madness everywhere. You guys have been watching these games. We've got a couple upsets early. I picked one of them right. I didn't pick one of them right. We'll talk about that here today. We'll talk about some college football and the NFL draft today, as well as we're about a month out from the draft. Can't wait to be able to see that. We got people dropping in the latest mock drafts. We've got people moving up in some of these latest mock drafts. So we got plenty to talk about here on the show today. We'll also talk a little bit of NBA as Luka and the Lakers able to get a win last night. Luka Doncic dropping 20 in a quarter last night, making it look too easy. We'll get a chance to touch all of those topics. Want to thank everybody for tuning in with us today, whether you're watching on YouTube, Centex Sports TV, or if you're watching with us on Facebook or Twitter at Centex Sports Network over there as well. And also, make sure you guys go over and check out the website, centexsportsnetwork.com. You can go on there and check out some of the content we have on there. We got a chance to broadcast the Region 5 basketball tournament live from here in Waco last week. That was a lot of fun. If you want to catch some of those games, look at some replays, go over to the website, man. Go and check it out, centexsportsnetwork.com. On the website, you can go on there and check out some of those games and watch a preview of some March Madness on the JUCO side before they got into the March Madness here on the Division I side as well. As you can see, Gonzaga and Georgia playing right now. Gonzaga getting ready to close out Georgia in just a second. Watford and Tennessee coming up. I got Tennessee going pretty far. We don't need any upset stuff happening while we got that going on. So, folks, we're going to get right into it here today on the show. Joining me in here today for some conversation over the phone this time, PJ Gaither calling in with us to talk about it. PJ, what's going on?
Man, I'm doing good, man. Ready to get on some of these topics.
No, for sure. A lot going on in the sports world, not just the March Madness, but it's stuff going on everywhere, NFL free agency. So we got plenty to talk about here. We got about an hour and a half to chop it up with you guys here on Centex Primetime. Let's start with some March Madness here today. First game of the day right out of the gate. We got to see a game that started out pretty good, ended up finishing off. We've seen a few good games here, and we've seen an upset already happen as McNeese takes out Clemson and goes ahead and decides to start shredding my bracket up It happens every year, y'all. So I'm used to it at this point. Every year, something's gonna happen with this bracket. McNeese is the one that threw me
Yeah.
off first. The first game though, Creighton was able to go out there and get a dub, and I picked Creighton, even though they were underdog in that game. wasn't too tough of a pick for me. Creighton, a team that's always in the playoffs, a team that's always in the March Madness. Doug McDermott's dad, Coach McDermott, has been coaching there for a while. 25-10 on the season, and the ACC was trash this year. So I'm not shocked that Louisville lost. If Rick Pitino's not coaching the Louisville Cardinals, I don't care about Louisville, man. They haven't done anything since Rick Pitino left there, so I wasn't shocked about that loss whatsoever. PJ, you got a chance to see any of these games that's happened so far here today?
I was watching the McNeese one, man. They was on Clemson from the beginning. I think at halftime, don't quote me, but I think they was down by like 20 points, bro.
Bro, at halftime, these boys
At
had only scored
halftime,
13
it
points.
was, yeah, it was bad.
I was
It
so
was
mad.
bad. It was down by like 20 or 30, bro. I'm not even exaggerating. It was a crazy number. I can't exactly remember what it was. But yeah, they was getting whooped from the start all the way to the end, you know. So shout out to McNeese though, man. I feel like they're a slept on program.
No, for
Um,
sure.
I wouldn't say that they're consistently one of the top programs, of course, but they are consistently good program. You know, even if they don't probably make it to the Sweet 16 or whatever, they are consistently a team that's going to be in the tournament, definitely coming out of their conference.
And
So
this was their first win in the tournament. They've gotten there a few times. It's their first time getting a
yeah,
dub in the tournament.
yeah. So this is a good win, man. I mean, against a Clemson team that was pretty decent. And like you said, the ACC though was very weak this year, but that was a decent Clemson team. And I would say this: the way that they dominated Clemson should be scary for a lot of other teams if you got to go up against them, because it's not like one of these upsets that we've probably seen before, where it's like, oh, an 11 seed team beats a 5 seed, but it was a close game. Like, this game wasn't close. So I'm trying to really just read into it a little more and see, like, because this could possibly mean that they're better than what we probably even perceive right now.
That and you
So
know
who's
every
this?
year it's one of those like Cinderella type teams is what they like to call them or whatever.
Yeah,
You know the underdog stories, and Clemson was a
yeah.
team that I don't think that highly of Purdue. We watched Purdue earlier. They had a tough game against High Point.
Yeah.
And
tough
looking at
game.
the
Yeah.
way the McNeese came out there, I'm like, man, my bracket is in trouble because I think McNeese might get
It's in
on
trouble.
Purdue top because Purdue is not.
That's what I'm
They
saying.
graduated too many seniors last year. Like all those dudes they had, Mason
Yeah.
Gillis and Zach Edey, all them dudes is gone.
They gone now.
So I'm looking a little scared for my bracket now. I'm like, okay, McNeese gets the upset on
It's gonna be
Clemson.
tough. Yeah.
I should have known when I seen Clemson's lineup. I'm just like, man, some of these dudes don't look like they hoop. I'm just going off Clemson record. Clemson record was nice. They were in the ACC, even though the ACC was trash this year. Even North Carolina
Yeah.
wasn't that good this year. Only team that was good in the ACC really was Duke. Everybody else in the ACC
I'm
was
disappointed
kind
in
of
North
weak.
Carolina.
Well, I mean, at least they got a dub to get into the play-in, but they weren't even supposed to make the tournament, in my opinion. They
I'm about to say they weren't supposed to make it, man. They weren't supposed to make the
they were
tournament.
like
I'm
1-9
disappointed with
against teams that made the tournament. Like
Yeah,
they didn't beat
man,
nobody.
nobody. And that's a team that I like to really support. I've always been kind of like I'll say basketball fan for UNC, and to see
Oh, yeah,
them
for
just
sure.
the way this year went was awful. It was awful all season. So
As soon as I
they
seen
got their
Space
win,
Jam and
but
Michael Jordan had to go back to the house with Bugs and them and get his North Carolina shorts, I've been liking North Carolina basketball ever since then, and that's way in the 90s
most
that
definitely.
happened. But disappointing year for them so far. They got a chance to redeem that though. That's the great thing about the tournament. As long as you get
Yeah,
in,
you're in the
it
tournament,
really
yeah.
don't matter what happened before then. It's about
What
going out there and winning the game. And they going out there and got a chance to win in a dominant play-in. Obviously, it's the play-in game, so you're playing a team that's also not that good. But they were dominant in that game, and I got North Carolina advancing to the next round. Matter of fact, I got them beating Ole Miss tomorrow. So Ole Miss, y'all in trouble.
Yeah.
If you think I'm going for Ole Miss, definitely not. I ain't rooting for Ole Miss in any
We'll
sport.
never. Yeah, we'll never.
Certain teams are on my
We'll
ban
never
list. I
support
can't
them.
root for you even if I'm watching a cricket game or
Yeah.
polo. Like Ole
Nothing.
Miss is one of those schools I can't root for no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so. But I like that UNC team. I think they'll get a win. Gonzaga just taking out the final seconds going off the buzzer right now. Y'all see on the TV taking out Georgia. Hey Georgia, let's just stick to football, bro. I know y'all not really a basketball school like that, and I hate how overrated the SEC was this year in basketball. They broke the record for the most teams to get into the conference.
Can we talk?
They
Can we
got
talk about that
14.
real
Yeah,
quick?
yeah. They got 14 teams out of
And
16 teams in the tournament. And Wayne was on the
the
show.
big,
Me and Wayne were on the show on Monday, and we said, I think half these SEC teams finna get blown out. Y'all just stuff these
get blown
teams
out.
into the tournament. Y'all know that these teams just put them in there just cause. I get the SEC was a good conference this year in basketball.
Nah,
But
bro.
some of these teams y'all
They
just threw
was
in here. Texas,
just for the hype, bro.
Georgia,
Texas wasn't supposed. Yeah, Texas wasn't.
Arkansas
We
is
were.
finna
I ain't gonna,
play.
come on, man. I ain't gonna lie. I'm a Texas Longhorn fan, but we had no business being in the tournament. We really weren't good.
And it
We
showed
really
last night
weren't
when they
good.
blew a 20-point lead
Yeah,
against
like
Xavier.
yeah, we weren't good. We weren't a good team. So I'd rather us not be in the tournament than go in and then get embarrassed. You know what I mean?
Real
These
though.
SEC teams, they're not like I hate the hype. They threw a lot of them in there like that just for the hype, just so they can be like, oh well, look, they're not just good in football or they're not just good in baseball. They're also good in basketball this year. It's only like maybe 3 teams out the SEC this year that you can really respect when it comes to basketball, and that's gonna be Auburn, Alabama, and
Exactly.
who else?
Those
Maybe
those
third.
those are the teams that are
And like
good in the SEC.
those 2 right
Auburn
there.
and Alabama. Those are hoops
Maybe
now.
maybe
Now
Tennessee.
those are hoop schools.
Yeah,
Tennessee
now
for
they are.
sure. For
Yeah,
sure. Tennessee been
Tennessee.
one.
Yeah. So them 3 right there, you can
Kentucky,
respect. Everybody else.
Florida.
Yeah, Kentucky. Okay, of course. Yeah, of course. Kentucky. Yeah,
Kentucky
Florida.
and
Yeah.
Florida. Those
It's like
those are schools. But to put 14 of them in there,
14 of
14
them
out
in
of
there, man. That's
16.
like, yeah, that's crazy. Like I don't understand. And then they've been having this whole argument about, oh, is the SEC the best conference in basketball? And it's like we
No.
know who the best conference. The Big 12
Talk about it.
is the best
Come on,
conference.
man. Easy.
It's not even close. It's not even close. It's not even close.
I don't think it's close at
Baylor had
all.
a down year. Baylor had a down year this year,
And we
and
finna
they
smack
still
Mississippi State
whoop.
tomorrow.
Yeah, they still gonna whoop Mississippi State tomorrow. So it don't even like, come on, man.
SEC, y'all got football already, bro. Stop trying to do
Yeah,
this
just
thing
had
and
it.
dominate. And y'all have some dominant teams. Auburn is a dominant team. Florida is a dominant team. Kentucky over the years past have been a dominant team. But
Most definitely.
and Bama this year is a really good team. I wouldn't put them as dominant because they don't play no defense. So I think
They're not.
their
They're not
run might be
consistent.
coming
They're not.
short. Might be coming short.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're not consistent.
yeah.
So I get it. Over the last couple of years, they've been good. So I get that. But SEC is not a basketball conference, y'all. It's not. Y'all tried to force it. Y'all really forced it. I can't even say tried.
They
You put
forced it this
14
year.
out
They
of
forced it
16
this year.
teams in there. That's a force. Like, come on, man. Let's stop it. And I think A&M is in trouble. A&M playing Yale. You know Yale, one of them upset teams.
Oh yeah.
A&M playing Yale in a couple minutes. So I'm like, man.
Yeah.
And I picked A&M to go forward really just because of their defense. But A&M can't shoot the ball to save their life. So when you can't shoot the ball in the tournament, it starts getting scary when that game start getting close. Because if the other team is making shots, which we know Yale can do, then it's gonna be ugly.
I'm about to say, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, shoot the ball better than them.
Oh, Yale definitely shoot it. They shoot the lights out.
Yeah,
The
shoot the
problem
ball.
is
Yeah, they shoot the ball way better.
Yale got a bunch of future accountants out there playing. So, and when they get in that fast break, it starts getting spooky for them. So if A&M can just rebound the ball and get out of the fast break, it's gonna get spooky. You got dudes that's played football and basketball their whole life, and now they just play basketball on Texas A&M. Yale got a bunch of dudes been playing cricket and crochet and all this stuff their whole life, and
Hey,
I'll shoot
ain't
the
gonna lie
ball too.
though,
I'm gonna go play.
this might be a wild take.
Go
This is
ahead.
gonna be this prediction though. I think that Yale is gonna out rebound Texas A&M in this game today.
They're
And
gonna
that's
have
how they're
to.
gonna win.
They're gonna have to. If they lose on the
I
boards or
think
they
they're
lose in
gonna do it.
transition, they're gonna get smoked. It's not gonna be a little win. They're gonna get smoked. They're gonna get beat by 20 if they don't do that. They gotta make shots and they gotta spread the floor and they gotta
Yeah.
rebound. That's the only way they got
What's
a
their
chance.
mascot, man? What's their
The
mascot?
Yale
'Cause I'm
Bulldogs.
the Bulldogs. We're going for the Bulldogs today. We're going
So
for the
PJ
Bulldogs
calling the
today.
upset. That game coming on in about 20 minutes. He calling the upset now, Yale over Texas A&M. And would I be shocked? No, I just watched McNeese. I didn't even know McNeese really had basketball like that. I'm so used to seeing the dudes from this area going out there to play football that I'm always thinking about their football program. But in basketball,
That's
hey, man,
right. Yeah, we do got.
yeah, we got mad people from the
Lot
city
of guys.
that's went out there to McNeese. So shout out McNeese, man. They got a dub. They messed up my bracket, but it's just one loss. I got everything else right now. So we sitting high. I picked Creighton to beat Louisville. I knew Purdue was going to take care of business. I knew Wisconsin was going to stump out Montana. Montana shouldn't have sports. I don't know how Montana is. How y'all got one? Y'all got one school in the whole state, man. Like, let me get off Montana. But how y'all got one school in the whole state? BYU held it down versus VCU. That was one of the most picked upsets, and I knew that BYU was going to hold it down because I've been watching the Big 12 all year. The Big 12 is like that. I've been trying to tell y'all all year long. We got sleeper teams like BYU that might get out there and upset some people. But instead, we got to watch Georgia get completely blown out by Gonzaga. And that's an 8-9 matchup. That ain't even like that game's not supposed to be a blowout.
Yeah, it's supposed to be close.
But what do? They go out there and get blown out. Same thing I think Kansas finna get on Arkansas top. Y'all just put Arkansas in there because John Calipari, the coach there now. Arkansas ain't been good like that all year. They have no significant wins. I picked Drake.
They threw them boys against Kansas immediately?
What'd you say?
They threw them against Kansas immediately?
Yes,
like
bro.
That?
7 and 10 matchup. Because Kansas wasn't that good this year, but Kansas playing in the Big 12 is different.
Yeah.
And they going to show them that it's different. Both of them had down years, but Kansas on the down year is better than Arkansas on the down year. So, like, I'm taking Kansas. Like, what do we – they just won a chip like 2 or 3 years ago they just won. Like, what are we talking about? And I got Missouri losing. That's my main upset that I got picked for today. Missouri, the 6th seed. Drake is the 11th seed. I got Drake beating up on Missouri today, man. I'm not that big on Missouri. I watched some of their highlights and paid attention to some of their games, some of their matchups that they won and lost. I like Drake, man. If you coming in at 30-3, I don't care what conference you played in. You can hoop.
That'll be good.
You can hoop. If your team is 30-3, you played 33 games, you only lost 3 of them, your team can hoop. Missouri, I'm not trusting nobody that's coming out of the SEC right now. Like, I'm just not trusting. Like, you're going to have to show me for these SEC teams outside of the ones that I know are good. The Tennessees, the Auburns, the Alabamas, the Floridas. I picked Florida to go all the way. And I went back and forth all the way to the last second on that one between them and U of H. But U of H let me down so bad last year that I really got scared to even pick them. But I still got U of H going far this year. I like them boys out there at Houston, man. So hopefully, and they in the Big 12 now. So hopefully they'll be able to hold it down. But we got a lot of good games going on right now. As you can see over here on the screen, Tennessee and Wofford just kicked off. Tennessee coming in as a 2 seed. This is one of those teams that I think can hoop. Right now it's 8-6. Tennessee's gonna pull away as it gets closer, so y'all can relax because Tennessee's not gonna blow y'all bracket up. They're not gonna lose to Wofford. I like Wofford and all that, but come on, y'all. Tennessee got something this year. I think Tennessee got a chance to kind of go far. And shout out to St. John's that played later, man. Rick Pitino has reinvented himself as a coach like 50 times. And every time.
Them boys hot over there.
Yeah, and every time he turned their program around, St. John's is 30-4. St. John's been trashed my whole life. I didn't get I didn't grow up in the time when the Big East was like it was in the 80s and the late 80s and early 90s when St. John's was smacking people with Chris Mullins and all them boys. Nah. St. John's been trashed my whole life. He was going out there to St. John's, and Rick Pitino got them turned up, just like he did when he was at Louisville, just like he did when he was at Kentucky. Like, Rick Pitino's a program builder, and he like 70. And they got the little behind-the-scenes show that they've been doing for the last couple of months. He be in there talking crazy to them boys. That's how I knew they was going to be nice. He said, I think everybody in here is soft. I don't see a player in this room today soft. I said, oh, no, Rick, they don't like to get coached like that. That's the old school coaching. These new generation,
right? Yeah, that's true motivation.
Yeah. He know what he's doing, and he know how to coach basketball. So shout out to the Godfather, as they call him, Rick Pitino, man. I think they got a chance to go pretty far in this tournament too. Like I said, Wofford to Tennessee playing right now. We got a few games that are gonna kick off. I'll put a multi-view up here, and we'll have a couple of the games going on in the background as we get through some more of these topics here today, folks. Once again, want to thank everybody for tuning in with us here on Centex Primetime as we get ready to go into the next hour here on the show. We got a whole lot to talk about. I want to switch it just a little bit. We'll be touching in on the March Madness going in and out throughout the show here. Want to switch over a little bit and talk about some NFL draft status here, man. It's almost time for the draft. The NFL offseason has been on fire so far with free agency. We've talked about some of these all week long. I'll get PJ's opinion on a couple of these guys too. But the free agency is on fire. The draft right now, everybody's making their mock drafts. I'm going to come out with a mock draft in the next couple of weeks, at least for the first round. So we'll just have something to discuss and talk about up here. I get some of the fellas' input on that as well as we go through some of the mock draft. But guys are moving around. Right now, it started off thinking, man, it's just Cam Ward and it's Shador for the first round. Then we started seeing Shador's status drop, and people wanted to say, oh, he's not an NFL talent. He's not a first round talent. Now his draft status moving back up. Now we're seeing guys like that we expected to do this because we watched the combine. And PJ was on the show before, after the combine, and we talked about it. Guys' status is rising. The main one that I thought status was going to skyrocket after the combine was the quarterback from Ole Miss, Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart right now is looking like a top 10 pick, which I knew they were going to throw somebody in there. I knew they weren't going to just have it as two quarterbacks going in the top 10, especially after last year when I think we saw 5 in the first 12 picks. So if J.J. McCarthy and Bo Nix can get drafted that high, surely Jackson Dart can get drafted that high, man. I think Jackson Dart is on his way to New Orleans. A lot of guys have been putting him there in their mock draft. I agree with that. I think Kellen Moore going out there starting the new year, he knows he needs something new and fresh in there at the quarterback position. You can't go in there at the same old Derek Carr, especially not in New Orleans. They sick of that dude in New Orleans, man. Derek Carr got to live. What's the little suburb part of New Orleans out there? He got to live out there. Yeah, he got to stay out there, man. He ain't no way he's staying in the city because them people in New Orleans is not fooling with Derek Carr. We all know New Orleans don't care nothing about the Pelicans. All eyes are on the Saints. Nobody cares what the Pelicans are doing. They one of the worst teams in the league, and nobody cares. They are worried about the Saints and who's going to be playing quarterback for the Saints. I think it's going to be Jackson Dart. Maybe Derek Carr comes in, plays a couple of games if they decide to keep him on the roster. He might ask for a trade after they draft Jackson Dart, but I think Kellen Moore is going to want a new quarterback in there that he can develop that can be his guy. Derek Carr ain't his guy. Matter of fact, he used to smack Derek Carr in college when they played Fresno State and Boise State. So Kellen Moore definitely he ain't worried about Derek Carr at all. He's trying to get a new QB in there. I think it's going to be Jackson Dart. What you think about Jackson Dart rising up in these latest mock draft polls?
I'm excited for it because I actually like Jackson Dart, man.
Yeah.
Definitely, since he's been at Ole Miss, man, I actually had liked him. I remember when he first had to start, I think it was against Baylor in the Sugar Bowl. I was down there at the Sugar Bowl.
Yeah, I remember.
And Baylor, I mean, at that time, Baylor defense was ridiculous, and them boys were swarming all around him. But he still showed a little bit of heart even in that game. So I like Jackson Dart. He really showed up at the combine, recently. So it's only right for his stock to go up. I think that as far, and I even said it before his stock even went up this far, but I was like, I think that he has one of the better arms in college football, honestly, in this draft for sure. He pretty much showcased that. That's what you do, man. When you go to the draft, man, that's where you make your money. So that's what you're supposed to do. Go to the combine and show them how good you really are.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he did. He improved his status by a lot. I feel like in that combine, I think he had the best day out there between him and the kid from Louisville that might get up in the first round as well. I mean, it's crazy to think about how much guys' draft stock raises after the combine and after teams start evaluating it, and really after this QB market started drying up. That's why I think that Shador and Cam are going to be gone in the first 5 picks. Because before I was like, man, one of them might slip outside of the top 5, but the way that QB market dried up in free agency, and no one knows what Aaron Rodgers is going to do, and then Matt Stafford resign. Now I think Cam Ward and Shador are going to get out of there in the top 5, and I think that we might see a Jackson Dart siding in that top 10. If they don't go and get him, the Saints don't go and get him in number 9. I think somebody else is going to take a shot on him. I think, and this is just me, if he gets past number 9, I think San Francisco might take a shot on him at 11 because man, I don't know why you would pay Brock Purdy. It just depends how big are they in on Brock Purdy. I think Sam Darnold's contract changed everything for Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy was going in here saying, "Oh, I've been to a Super Bowl. I want 40 million, 45 million, 50 million, all the way up to Dak 60 million. He could ask for that." But after Sam Darnold, who just came off a really good year, he signs with the Seahawks and only gets 30 a year. Now this changes everything. So Brock Purdy, that's your market, what Sam Darnold got paid. Your market is not what Dak got paid. Your market is not what Trevor Lawrence got paid. Your market, in my opinion, is more like the Sam Darnold thing. And
I'll say this.
Go ahead.
I think that Jackson, what's the kid?
Yeah, Jackson
what's his
Dart.
last name? Yeah, Dart. Yeah, Jackson Dart. You were saying Sam Darnold. I almost called him Jackson Darnold. But I think Jackson Dart, I think the kid has more upside than Brock Purdy. And this is not to say
Definitely.
that Brock Purdy isn't. He's a system quarterback.
Point blank. Period.
I, I'm gonna stand. I'm gonna stand on that forever until he goes to another team and shows otherwise. I believe that he is a system quarterback, and we kind of already got proof
We
that when
do.
you coming from the 49ers, they a lot of times have a system quarterback, at least in the last decade.
Man,
They have a quarterback that's good in their system, not meaning that he's going to dominate here, but when he goes somewhere else, he's going to be mediocre. He's probably already mediocre with the 49ers, but their system is just so good. The coaching is so good that you can kind of hide it a little bit. But when times get rough, just like this past season, times was rough, even the season before a little bit, we've seen, he's mediocre at best, bro. And that's not to say that he's a bad quarterback. He's a game manager. The Cowboys,
That's
we've
it.
been having a game for the last 8 years now. He's a game manager. You know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that. But I feel like Jackson Dart has more of an upside. He has a better arm than he does. And I think going outside the pocket, scrambling and having to run for some yards, I still think Jackson Dart is better at that. To me, overall, he's just a better prospect than what Brock Purdy was when he was coming into the league. Nobody expected anything from Brock Purdy.
That's why he was the last pick in the draft for a reason, and I get that his story is great. He went to a Super Bowl, all this stuff as the last pick in the draft. It's a great story, but as he progresses in his career, we're gonna figure out more and more why he was the last pick in the draft. There's no measurables. He's not fast. He doesn't have a big arm. He's not tall. He's not a super strong guy. He's just a game manager, and there's nothing wrong with
What
that.
does
It's a
he
place in
like?
this league for that. But
You
the
can
place
last.
in
You
this
can
league
last.
is go ahead.
You can last in the league for about 15 years as a game manager if you want.
Like we see it all the time. We see plenty. Jimmy Garoppolo still in the league right now. Like
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with being a game manager because that's most quarterbacks. Jackson Dart. Only thing we don't know Jackson Dart is better than Brock Purdy is him processing a defense and processing an offense. We have no idea because we haven't seen it in the NFL. Outside of that, we know Jackson Dart got a better arm. We know he's faster than Brock Purdy. We know he's bigger than Brock Purdy. If we're just going off of that, Kyle Shanahan, we seen Jimmy Garoppolo be successful in this system. Like, we're not going to act like it's going to take some wizard to come in here and run this offense. Jimmy Garoppolo is terrible at football, and he took them to the Super Bowl and was one throw away from beating the Chiefs. One throw.
Yeah.
5 yards off of missing Emmanuel Sanders on that post route in the end zone. The game's over with. Like,
And I'm not gonna lie,
go ahead.
I didn't even think that I didn't know that Jackson Dart. I might be tripping, but at the combine he looked bigger than what I thought he was.
He did. Yeah,
He
man.
looked bigger than what
Jackson
I thought
Dart,
he was.
he changed my mind as him as a prospect. I knew that he was going to maybe go potentially late first round, probably early second. After watching that, I was like, nah, somebody going to take a chance on this guy. There's no way that they're going to let that many teams are going to pass on him at the prospect that he is, at what he did with Ole Miss. Ole Miss just underachieved because that's what Ole Miss does. I just told y'all 20 minutes ago I don't like Ole Miss. But that's what Ole Miss does. They underachieve. Their roster was stacked. They're going to have 10 guys go to the NFL this year probably. At least 5 for sure. But it probably can get close to that 10 number. Jackson Dart 6'2", he's 220. We know he can throw the ball. We seen him go out there and be explosive in the run game as well. Like, he's a better prospect than Purdy. Go ahead.
I think about 230. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, he's listed at 223 right now, but he looks like he's about 230, and he looked bigger than 6'2". I mean, I guess maybe he's just that's just how it looked in the combine.
Yeah, the combine, dude look bigger, bro. Like I was like, okay, he got a little size on him, man. He can move.
Yeah,
he can move, and he has an arm.
That's why his status rose up like that, man. I think, and teams need quarterbacks. Like, we're looking at the top 10. A bunch of these teams need quarterbacks. Even if it's kind of a draft and stash type thing, like we're going to draft you now and wait, which I think is the better option to do anyway. We're going to draft you now and just wait a little bit. Because guys like Tyler Show from Louisville, I think his status went way up, and I think he might be going in the first round. Because Pittsburgh is at the back of that draft, and Pittsburgh needs a quarterback. Pittsburgh has no idea what they're going to do as a quarterback position this year. They went and got DK. That's cool. And I was on here with Rocky yesterday telling him, he was like, how you feel about the Cooper Kupp situation going out there to Seattle? I said, honestly, it's going to be the same type of production as DK Because as big as DK is, I have no idea why he can't get no production. He's been in the league 7 seasons. He's only went over 1,000 yards 3 times. And the best he's ever got is 1,300. And that was the second year. So like I don't know what that is. They're gonna still need a quarterback though in Pittsburgh. I do like DK in Pittsburgh. It's for sure an upgrade out there, but they need more than that. They need a quarterback to go out there. They've been quarterback. They haven't had a quarterback since Roethlisberger retired. In his last 2 years before he retired, he was trash anyway. So they haven't had a quarterback in 10 years. Like you gotta go get a quarterback. Like that's why you keep losing. Mike Tomlin going 8-8 every year is cool, but until you get a quarterback, it's gonna be some more 8-8 stuff coming up. So
8-8, yeah. And that's how the show kid. That's a big kid. I can't even call him a kid, bro, because he's 25 years old.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna.
I'm about to say he ain't no
Man.
kid.
Yeah, we born in the same year. We
Playing
born the
college
same year.
football.
So, yeah, he should be out of college. He should have been out of college by now. You my age, like I'm older than him just because because of my birthday, but you 26, 25, bro. You supposed to be in the league.
Nothing about you and collegiate should go together. I'm not an athlete.
Nah, man. These dudes got I just seen today. Not to get off topic.
No,
but,
you good. Go ahead.
The LSU running back. What's my boy?
Durham.
Nah, the other kid that stayed turned his ACL. He had back-to-back seasons.
Emery.
Yeah, John Emery.
Yeah.
John Emery just announced he's coming back today for a 7th season. That is crazy. I understand that it's not his fault. His ACL tore back-to-back seasons. They're not even sure if he's coming back specifically to LSU or if is he going to try to go somewhere else because Caden Durham is going to get most of those carries.
90% of the carries.
Also, yeah. Like I don't get these dudes, man, but it is what it is. But yeah, Tyler Show, he's a big dude, 6'5", 230. I feel like that'll be a great thing for the Steelers. They're used to somebody being a bigger quarterback and everything, and he has a strong arm too. He has
Definitely
a very
does.
strong arm. So he's very similar to Ben Roethlisberger, to be honest. I would say he's more slimmer for sure than what Roethlisberger ever was, but he has very similar upsides.
Yeah, I like him going to the Steelers. I think that he'll fit in that system. Like you said, he's a bigger guy and he's older, so he's ready to come in and play right now. I was talking to Coach Gill over the weekend, and he was saying how he don't like this new. It hadn't come into play yet, but the potentially new JUCO rule where the JUCO won't count against you, because nobody wants to see 25-year-old dudes playing against 19-year-olds, man. Nobody wants to see that.
Not at all.
And that's what we're gonna see. If you say you go to you can go to JUCO for 2 years and then go redshirt. So by the time you start being a freshman, you're 22 years old playing football.
22.
That means you're gonna leave being 26 years old playing a kid straight out of high school. Some of these kids is reclassing now, like Ryan Williams and them. You're gonna play a 17-year-old and you're 25.
Man, I ain't gonna put their names out here, but they know who they are. I got friends that still playing college ball right now at smaller schools. I'm talking about schools like Mary Hardin Baylor, East Baptist.
And then you paying to go there because they don't even got scholarships. You paying to go play football.
And they get mad at me because I be telling them, "Hey man, the football dream, that's over.
That ship has sailed, bro.
You're not going to the league, bro. You're not going to nobody's league though. That's the thing. You're not going to nobody's league. You're not going to the XFL.
No.
You're not going to the UFL. You definitely not going to the CFL and the Canadian League. It's over."
I said before, when I go out there and watch some of these little league games, I got a problem with like 6U and 7U football because you're too young to be running out there into each other at 6U and 7U. But I also got a problem with 30U. Some of y'all is 30 and you out here playing at parks. You're on a 30U team. Y'all are at the park. Y'all are clocking off work, hitting the black, and going out there and playing in a football game. You need help, okay? Because this got to be studied. If you are still participating in competitive football and you're watching this show, this is your sign. Stop it. It's time to stop. You got to let it go. Those are free injuries y'all are getting. You're going to have to go with your health insurance from work and take that in there and tell them why your ankle is falling off the bone right now. Because you was playing 30U football at McGregor Park. Like, what is going on?
These dudes ain't even got health insurance, bro. They don't
got it because a lot of y'all don't got the job to come with the insurance. So you just risking everything. Now you
For
you
free.
stacking them pallets at work with a broke arm. Like
Crazy. Yeah, because you know
don't
you
make
work
no
at
sense.
Amazon. You work at Amazon on the back end.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what are y'all going to school for? Because I'm in medical school, and I understand it's gonna take me a few more years until I like get my doctorate and stuff. But like, what are you guys going to
Hey
school?
man,
Y'all not
you
going to
took it
school
way
to be
too
no
far when you
doctor, no
said medical
engineer.
school. These dudes are in general studies playing at
Y'all in general,
25 years
it don't
old.
take 8 years. It don't take 8 years for a general study degree. Are you just failing classes?
But
Like,
you got to pass the play. So I don't know what
you got to pass
I
the
don't know what
play.
they
So what are
doing.
y'all doing? What are you going to school for?
We're gonna have a bunch
I gotta know this.
of psychiatrists playing football because you've been in school so long. You might as well just get some type of degree. You've been there for
That's what
7
I'm saying.
years.
Make it worth the time. Y'all going to school for 8 years.
I hope they don't pass that rule in JUCO. It hasn't become official yet, but I hope they don't pass that rule. You go to
That's gonna be
school,
terrible
that
for
should
JUCO.
count. Maybe an
Yeah.
extra year or something I would get. Maybe you get an extra year, but to say it doesn't count, and then you can go in as a true freshman at 20 years old, maybe 21. That's without a red shirt. If you red shirt, you're gonna go in at 22 years old as a freshman, playing against other freshmen that are 18. That's just nasty work, man. So hopefully they cut that one out. But Tyler Show, one of those older quarterbacks, he's coming out this year. I think 4 quarterbacks are probably going off the board, and I think he'll probably be the 4th one taken off the board. I seen Jalen Milrose kind of rising back up because at his pro day he allegedly ran like close to a 4.3. So I mean, hey,
I don't care about what he ran. He
I
ran a
don't
four.
care.
He ran. I know what time he ran a 4.37. We don't care about that. We know that he can run. He can't
Yep.
throw.
That's the problem is you playing quarterback and not running back. So that 4.37 is only going to get you so far. Like I understand now we're in a new age of quarterbacks, and I love it. The fact that they're giving these dudes an opportunity because in the 90s and 80s and even early 2000s, there's some dudes that probably would have been nicer quarterback, but they didn't get that chance because they made you switch your position. So I love that they're not
He
making
has
guys
to.
switch their position. But Jalen Milroe is going to be one of those guys like just because he's fast and he's big does not mean that he's going to be good at football. How do we know? I don't know. They just drafted a guy named Anthony Richardson about 2 years ago that they brought in Daniel Jones to pretty much replace this dude at the Colts now. And he's in his 3rd year in the league. And they had to bring in Daniel Jones because they feel like Daniel Jones could lead that team to the playoffs because Anthony Richardson can't throw a 5-yard hitch or a 10-yard out route. Like, that's what we're going to see with Milroe. That game against Michigan should have shown y'all
That's
enough.
the worst, bro. That's the worst game that I've ever seen from a collegiate quarterback.
Terrible.
People have to go back and look at that
Man.
game. I promise you. I'm not even pushing it that far on them like that. That really was the worst game I've ever seen played by a collegiate quarterback.
And if you don't want to go watch
awful.
that, go watch the Oklahoma game. That was terrible.
Oklahoma
was bad, and y'all got blown out.
Honestly, if he wasn't at Alabama, he wouldn't even probably be a prospect for the draft after those 2 games.
No, definitely. If he was at Louisville and Tyler Show was at Alabama, yeah, come on, that wouldn't even be close. The only one I have a problem with in some of these mock drafts moving up and down is, okay, I get some of these guys moving up, Tyler Show and all that kind of stuff. One, I don't see Brady Cook on there. I feel like Brady Cook had a good combine and he should be considered higher. And the numbers he's putting up in Missouri. I know they say it was Missouri and all this different stuff. He put up numbers every year in Missouri. Yeah, he threw interceptions, but he put up yards too, and he put up touchdowns too. And he had a pretty good combine. I feel like that dude got in in a right system. He would be good. But the main one I got a problem with, and y'all know that watch the show with me, I'm not a fan of this guy, is Quinn Ewers. I'm not that big of a fan of Quinn Ewers coming out. But to have Will Howard ranked ahead of him is absolutely insane. Will Howard was throwing in the stands.
Will Howard over him?
Bro, some of these mock drafts got Will Howard ranked ahead of again of Quinn. I'm looking at ESPN right now. ESPN got Will Howard ranked ahead of Quinn Ewers.
Ahead?
Yeah, they got him ranked one spot ahead of Quinn Ewers, and Will Howard was throwing into the stands in the combine, playing 1-on-0 football. No one's guarding anybody, and he's throwing that mug to the stands. How,
bro? It's because they beat us, bro. It's because
that's
and
crazy.
If you go back and look at that game, Quinn played better than Will did.
Of course he did. This
played
team was
Ohio-
better.
his team was better.
especially the offense.
Yeah, his team was better. Bro, oh my God, that's crazy. And then forget the game. Just go look at the combine. I
Yeah,
said it on here. Quinn to me had one of the better days
right behind Jackson
out
Dart.
of most of the quarterbacks. Yeah, behind Jackson Dart, he had like the second best day.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I think the combine should have helped Quinn because we knew he could make
Yeah,
all the throws. We've seen him make all the throws. That was never the question. The question is his decision making. But in the combine, he came out there and played great. He made all the throws again. So if we're gonna give Tyler Show praise for making all the throws, and we're gonna give I think Seth Heineken played pretty good for making the throw. Brady
yeah.
Cook for making the throws in the combine. We got to give Quinn Ewers love for making all the throws in the combine. If Tyler Show comes off the board before him, okay, that's cool. I get that they're gonna hype somebody up. But the fifth quarterback would have to be Quinn after that if he's not taking it as the fourth quarterback. Because Will Howard is crazy. Jalen Milroe is even crazier. Dylan Gabriel is crazy. Like none of those guys should be taken before a
None
Quinn
of
Ewers
them
gets
guys,
off the
bro.
board.
None of them guys, bro. Like none of them. Them dudes didn't do nothing at the combine. They
Nothing.
all three of them did nothing at the combine, bro. All of them
And
did
in my
nothing at the
opinion,
combine.
the combine for Will Howard and Jalen Milroe, the combine can't save you. We've seen the film. Combine not going to be able to save you. Like Will, honestly, as good as you did at Ohio State, a lot of those stats mean nothing to me because when you're playing with a completely stacked roster, you got five
He was
stars at
throwing
every
to
position.
he throwing a baby Megatron and Jeremiah Smith.
Literally, you throwing to little Megatron. Then you still got Mbuka out there. Then you still got Carnell Tate out there. You got two of the top 5 running backs coming out this year on your team playing at the same time, and your defense gonna get you the ball right back. So a lot of those stats gotta come with an asterisk, in my opinion. But I get it. He still went out there and played and made plays. But as far as the quarterbacks go, I think coming off the board first, I think it's gonna be Cam Ward. Right now, I got Shadur going to the Giants. I think they'll pick him up at the Giants. But
Yeah,
honestly, I would not be shocked if we get closer and closer to draft day and Jackson Dart gets picked at 3. I just wouldn't be shocked. When just looking at the history of it, the Giants don't do black head coaches and they don't do black quarterbacks. Like
that
that's just the history of their organization. I don't have to make it up. It's just what they did. I don't know what the reason is for it, but that's what. But it just happens. They don't
and
have
that
black
is,
head coaches. They don't have black quarterbacks. Like Tyrod Taylor
I
was
ain't
there for a
never.
little bit, but that's like a bridge guy. We've never seen them invest. They didn't want to pay when Lamar Jackson was a free agent 2 years ago. They was one of the first teams to say, "Oh no, we good. We good on that. We'll be all right." What do
How y'all
you,
good?
what you
How
mean
y'all
you're
good?
good on that? I don't get that. But hey, that's so I wouldn't be shocked if Shador goes there. If it's a match made in heaven, Shador is gonna bring all the limelight and all that stuff, and then he's gonna be in New York. It's gonna be great. I want to see Bucky and all them getting to go out there in New York, take their media stuff to another level, getting to be in New York. So I would love that pick for the Giants if they do it. But I would not be shocked if we see a Jackson Dart at 2. I think Cleveland is gonna take Abdul Carter. I don't see them taking a quarterback because it's just too much money to pay quarterbacks when you know you're gonna be sorry anyway. Let's just build a defense. All your best players on the defensive side of the ball: Myles Garrett, Denzel Ward, Greg Newsome. All your best guys on the defensive side of the ball. Let's get Abdul Carter over there, and let's make sure we got a solid defense so we can be competitive in games. They traded for Kenny Pickett. I think Kenny Pickett is gonna be their starter going forward because he's shown that he can go out there and be an NFL starter at least at some point. You don't want to play
Mm-hmm.
Deshaun Watson at all. Let's just go in instead of bringing in a Shador and having to pay him 40 to $50 million and still paying Deshaun Watson all this money. Let's just
That's
keep
money
a
you
young
don't pay.
guy and let's get Abdul Carter out there on the end. So I think Abdul Carter's going to 2. What do you think about what the Browns are doing in the draft?
I'm right on that too. I feel like Abdul Carter. You just keep on building on their defense. Their defense is really good. The offense is very questionable. It's not really that the offense is questionable because they actually got some really good, guys at receiver, tight end. Njoku, the running back.
Jerry
I
Judy.
mean,
If Chubb is
the
healthy,
running
he's a
back,
top 3 running back in the league if he's
top
healthy.
3 running backs. Yeah, y'all good still. It's just y'all have no quarterback, bro. And the sad part about it is that y'all thought that y'all was going to have a quarterback whenever y'all made the decision to pay Deshaun Watson all that money, and he's just awful at this point after taking all them happy endings. After they took the mojo away
They
from
took
him,
the
man.
talent like Space
They
Jam.
took the talent.
After that, yeah,
So man,
that's wild, man. I've never seen
something
that
happened to him
before.
like Tiger Woods. He like Tiger Woods now. Dude's
Hey,
just not good no more,
no,
man. Like,
no. Man, didn't Tiger just get an injury like a couple of weeks ago, like towards Achilles? I'm like, dog, why is Tiger Woods still
yeah,
playing golf? You have
I
so
ain't even
much
know
money,
Tiger was good.
bro.
Tiger needs to go ahead and retire, man. He ain't been the same since after the little
Yeah, all that
trouble he
stuff
was
happened,
in.
man. When he got in trouble, and then he got 10 injuries, came back, won the Masters. That was supposed to be his success story and be like, look, he's still one of the GOATs. He came back after all them injuries, all that stuff happened, and he still won the Masters. But after that,
You talking about a few years ago when he was crying?
yeah, when he was, he was
Yeah,
crying,
yeah. He
and he showed off that hairline. I said, hey, Tiger, bro, you got too much money to be going out like that, man. You got a
yeah.
George Jefferson up there. You got too much bread for that, man. They'll go talk to Dion. They'll put some hair back in your head, man. You got, but for Tiger, bro, you literally one of the GOATs. You're one of the greatest to ever play golf. You're
He
one of the
most
greatest
definitely so.
athletes of all time. Just
All time.
retire, bro. Why are
Yeah,
you
he
still
solidified.
golfing? He tore his Achilles golfing. Bro, you've gotten every injury you can get possible. I didn't know you could get hurt in golf.
I
This
didn't even
man
know you
got
could tell your
football
Achilles
injuries.
out. How you do that?
Bro,
I'm
he
trying
got
to- yeah, how you tell
football
your-
injuries. This man done torn ACLs. He got sprained MCLs. I'm like, are you
I'm
sparring or
ice,
something on the side? Like, what are you doing that you are getting consistently hurt like this playing golf? That just means it's time to let it go. Bro, you got
Let it go.
plenty of money, dog. It can't be a money thing. You got plenty of money, bro.
No.
Just go and hang it up, Tiger, man. But shout out to Tiger Woods. I don't know how we got started talking about Tiger, but shout out to him, man.
Yeah,
But,
I said Deshaun, just
yeah,
like him, man.
yeah. Start talking about Deshaun Watson, man. But they threw me
Yeah.
off when I was talking about Tiger. You want the ghost, bro. We don't want to see you going out like that, bro. Stop tearing Achilles and all this other stuff. Just
Yeah.
go to the crib. Whatever girlfriend you got in there now, go on out to the crib, man, and just kick it. Blow some money.
Kick it.
Do whatever you feel like doing. And your son is cold. Just watch your son golf.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
don't got to keep trying to force it. Your son is already good.
And Deshaun needs to do the same thing. Go ahead and go to the crib. He doesn't have his mojo.
That's what he's doing. He knows, hey, I'm never going to get a contract after this. Let me enjoy this last contract because you got to pay it to me. Y'all the ones that gave
How
it to
many
me, so
years
you got
left
to
he
pay
got
me.
on his contract?
He got 2. I think he got 2 years left on his contract.
Oh my God.
They got 2 years
Yeah, they
left.
done.
He just got engaged to his girlfriend. So, hey man, he's just kicking it. He don't care nothing about football. I don't think he wants to play. I think he's gonna keep getting injured, so he don't got to go out there and keep trying to play. Because last year it just looked like he doesn't want to play football anymore. The games that he was playing, it was bad. There was no enthusiasm. There was nothing. There was no good games. Like, oh well, he had one good game. Like every game was bad. Every drive was really bad. Every drive. Every time the Browns got the ball, you knew they're finna give it back to somebody. They're barely scoring
It's
points.
sad, man. It's sad.
That's why Myles Garrett was asked for a trade. Like, y'all gonna make me, it's bad enough I gotta live in Cleveland. You gonna make me live in Cleveland and we gonna lose? You gonna have to compensate me properly to live in Cleveland and lose, bro. So they did that. They gave him the biggest contract in NFL history for a defender at $40 million a year. So he got that, and he'll still be there in Cleveland. But I think they're gonna go out there with Kenny Pickett and just try to be competitive with their defense. The Giants, I think, like they're taking Shador, like I said, at 4. No way Travis Hunter's getting past 4 past the Patriots. And I think that's a perfect spot for Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter's already a little bit weird and stuff. He's not trying to be outside. Boston is the perfect city for Travis Hunter to go to. He can just focus on football. They're probably going to let him play both sides of the ball. He got a perfect coach for that. Mike Vrabel caught like 10 touchdowns for the Patriots, even though he was a linebacker. They put him in a tight end. So he understands the importance of letting guys play both sides of the ball out there. So I think he'll give Travis a chance to go out there and play both sides of the ball. I think I think that'll be a match made in heaven if Travis Hunter can get to New England.
I think he'll like New England. I think he'll fit right in New England. I could really see him in that jersey too.
That's honestly one of the spots I wanted him to go all along. I didn't want him to go to Cleveland. I didn't want nobody to go to Cleveland. My bad, Cleveland, for just talking about y'all. But
Nobody needs to go to Cleveland.
I didn't want any of the guys to go out there to Cleveland. If Abdul Carter go out there, all right, cool. You can be out there with Myles Garrett, and I think that'll be a good tandem for both of y'all. But I didn't want to see Travis in Cleveland. I definitely didn't want to see Shador or Cam go out there to Cleveland. So I'm glad that Cam will be in Nashville most likely. I think they're tired of Mr. Mayonnaise out there and Will Levis, and they're just going to go ahead and go with Cam. Go out there. I hope they bring in another veteran quarterback into that room in Tennessee so somebody can teach Cam the ropes, because you don't want Will Levis teaching him the ropes. Like here,
He
like
can't teach him nothing.
no, like I'm not. What are you going? Hey, this is how you throw a game. This is how you throw a pick in 30 seconds left in the game, and you throw a pick six to lose.
Yeah.
Like what is he going to
And
show
drop
him?
to your knees, drop to your knees and stuff,
Yeah.
making memes out there.
You got to stop doing. Somebody got to teach him to control his emotions. You can't throw a
He's too
pick and
dramatic,
drop to your knees and put your hands in your head. Put your head in your hands. Like I don't know who taught you that, but you can't do that, bro. Not as a quarterback. You're supposed to be a leader of
can't show
men
the
when you're the
defense
quarterback. You're like,
flustered out there.
go ahead.
Yeah. You can't show the defense that you flustered like that. I mean, like every time he does something, he just it'd be so like dramatic, man. It's like a movie. He
Yeah,
gotta drop into his knees, like like just crazy stuff, man. Like he gotta do better. But honestly, I'm not sure with his contract or whatever how that was. I would release him.
they picked him, so they'll keep him on the team because it's not gonna hurt him to keep him. They'll keep him there, but he is going to be the backup.
I wouldn't even want him to be a backup. I wouldn't even want him to be a backup. He's that bad. I wouldn't even want him to be a backup.
Now, yeah, I agree. I'm nowhere near sold on Will Levis. I hated during that draft how they tried to push him. What was that? A couple of years ago. And I say every
That was
year
last year.
they find a tall white guy to push every single year. It comes out of school and you're like, man, why are they gonna pick him? And that it was Will Levis. I heard Mel Kiper getting on there and hey, Will Levis might end up being the best quarterback out of this draft. Like, come on, y'all do this every year. Let's stop it, y'all. Let's stop it. We knew Will Levis wasn't good at Kentucky. He was just okay. So to come out in the draft and go to a team like Tennessee with no weapons, what do you think's gonna happen? Of course he's gonna be bad. So let's get Cam in there. They got TP. He's coming off a good year. Pollard coming off a good year at running back. They still got Calvin Ridley out there. He got off Prize Picks and DraftKings. He stopped making the bets. So he's back to playing football again. They suspended that boy for a year. I said, that's wild. How you go suspend a dude
They did my boy
for
dirty.
a year? They did him super dirty. He already old.
They did him dirty.
He was 25 when he was at Alabama, so he already
came
old.
To the league, yeah.
Like, this dude, him and Amari Cooper the same age, and Amari Cooper was in the league like 3 years before Calvin Ridley was in the league. And them dudes is the same age, so y'all can't take a year away from him. He came into the league at like 25, 26. Taking a year away hurts. But you got Ridley out there. I think they probably gave up on Traylon Burke. They tried to turn him into an A.J. Brown. That was dumb.
Yeah, he's done.
Yeah, they got to give up on that dream of trying to turn him into A.J. Brown. So that's over with. But you got Calvin Ridley. Let's get this dude some offensive linemen. Let's hand the ball off to Tony Pollard and see if Cam Ward can go out there and be successful out there. Last thing on the draft before we switch over, talk about some other stuff. Ashton Genty, somebody that I said I hope people don't pick him too high. Well, here it comes. They're finna pick him high. But the team that I think he's going to, it will make sense for him to go there because they don't have anybody else. You might as well put him out there, and that's the Raiders. I think the Raiders are going to take Genty at 6. Them getting Geno Smith, I think, kind of took them out of the quarterback market for this year. They'll let Geno play for a couple of years and try to build up some other pieces because they need everything. It's not one of these teams where, we can just draft a QB and plug him in and he'll be good. They need everything out there. The only player I know on the roster is Max Crosby and Brock Bowers. I don't know nobody else out there. Like, I guess they got Christian Wilkins at D tackle, but he was there last year. Anybody that was there last year, you almost don't count, bro, because y'all were terrible. The Raiders were horrible. So
what's the corner? What's the corner that played at Long Beach Poly? Jack Jones.
Yeah, they got Jack Jones out there. Yeah, but he be trying to steal off on people and do crazy stuff. So
he be fighting too much.
Yeah, he got to chill out, bro. You in the league now. You got to chill. Like I like Jack Jones though, but that don't count as nobody that I'm gonna count as far as we good at that position. Because Jack Jones still a crash out. So that don't count as being. First of all, they got to stop drafting crash out. Didn't they draft Arnett there a couple years ago?
They did.
And he super crash out. This man was showing guns to people on Instagram saying, I'm going to pull up to your house and shoot you. Like, you just didn't care about football anymore at that point. You making millions of dollars and you said, nah, it's all good. Let me show this dude on the internet how tough I am.
Crash out. Extreme crash out.
So they got to stop drafting the crash out. But yeah, I think Genty going 6 there will be smooth. You get Geno out there. They need somebody that can be a game changer. We know Genty can be a game changer at the running back position, and that's what they need. So I think Genty will be out there at 6. You think the Raiders will take him that high?
Oh yeah, the Raiders most definitely because they're desperate. That's a desperate team. They just need to move the team back to Oakland. It just don't feel right
It don't.
with them being in Vegas.
It's
They
keep
would
getting
never
cursed.
they would never be good in Vegas. I don't care who they draft. They'll never be good in Vegas. They will never win anything in Vegas.
You think Tom
I
Brady
don't
can turn them
understand why
around?
nothing's gonna turn them around. And nothing's gonna because they were never supposed to leave Oakland in the first place. I think they left
Nah.
when they leave Oakland like 91 or 93 to go to
L.A.
or something to go to LA.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, it was before a little bit before they
It was
then they
late
went back
80s.
to Oakland. Yeah, late 80s, like 87 or 88 or something. Y'all leave, y'all go to LA. They first went to LA, I think, in 83. So y'all were never supposed like, why would y'all leave to go to LA even then? Because by that time the Raiders had already won they had recently just won a Super Bowl in 1980. So Oakland is the Raiders, but me personally, I think they will because, like I said, they're desperate. They're just trying to find some type of identity. They have no identity right now. Their only identity right now is Max Crosby.
That's it. That's
That's
it.
it.
That's all. I mean, they got
tatted up the end. The tatted up the end. And then y'all
he
got
be
Brock
smoking
Bowers.
backwoods on Cam. I'm like, dude, you gotta I know they stopped testing as much, but you making it a little too obvious, bro. You gonna roll the
He's
wood
going too
on
hard.
Cam?
Yeah, he's smoking backwoods and cigars.
Yeah, so this is an early retirement. This is what this looks like. This guy's gonna only go till he's about 32 years old because no way your lungs can withstand that. He can never go play in Denver. He's over with. If he and they got to play them twice a year, so that's not a good spot for him. But I'm with you.
That's
I think
probably
they
why
should have
they be
gone back
losing.
to Oakland, man. I hate that every sports team is giving up on Oakland as a city. I know Oakland got a bunch of issues and nobody wants to go out there, but Oakland is one of them cities that's a true sports town. Like the Warriors got out of Oakland, they moved out of there and went to San Francisco. Now even the A's are moving out of Oakland. I forget where the A's are going, but they're leaving Oakland.
Where they going? San Jose?
I don't know, but they leaving Oakland though. And I'm like, bro, everybody's giving up on Oakland. The Warriors moved out of there. The Raiders done moved out of there. Like now the A's,
bro. You can't leave Oakland. Everything, any type of culture that y'all see in the Bay Area, it's because of Oakland. And that's not to disregard any of the other areas like, San Jose, Frisco, Richmond. Richmond too. They bring a lot of culture as well.
Stockton.
Stockton, Vallejo. But a lot of that culture comes from Oakland. So you can't just take these teams away, bro. That man, they're not gonna prosper. Like with the Raiders at least, they're not gonna prosper because that was really Oakland's team. Before anybody, before the Warriors really was popping, before the A's, anything, Oakland Raiders, that was Oakland's team right there. So I hate that they're in Vegas. I don't think any sport team in Vegas will ever thrive because you can't change a city that has been known as a gambling city for 100 years
Since
now
it's been built, yeah.
into a sports city. It's just not going to work. I don't care how much that, with the sports betting that's going on right now, how that became huge, in the last few years. It doesn't matter. That's just not, that city isn't built on sports. It was never built on sports because they never had, like, you got UNLV out there, but they suck at everything.
I'm talking about they bad at every sport. They're not even good in basketball no more. What happened? Greg Anthony and them boys put on for UNLV.
Yeah, like this year they was decent at football, but they really weren't that good. They in a sorry conference.
Yeah, that was overhyped. They're moving to, and the A's are moving to Vegas, of course. The A's
they
are
moving to Vegas.
A's are moving to Vegas too.
Hey, Oakland and Vegas gonna have some beef. They
don't took all their teams. Like something is going on. They're gonna relocate temporarily to West Sacramento for 2 years, and then they're gonna go back, and then they're gonna go to Vegas once their stuff is finished getting built in Vegas.
Sacramento ain't no better than Oakland.
Sacramento is worse, significantly worse than Oakland. Well, nobody wants to. They're always talking about the teams that should get taken away. There's no reason Sacramento should have an NBA team. Let's just be honest. That don't make sense to me. And especially when you already got a team in the Bay with the Warriors, Sacramento's not going to have any fans automatically. Everybody think the Clippers are little brothers to the Lakers. No, the Kings are the little brothers to the Warriors for sure. They get no love. Sacramento's too close. You get no love. They and then right above them you got Portland, got a team, and Seattle needs to get a team back too. But so I don't see how Sacramento even got fans, but yeah, the A's are moving down there to Vegas as well. They'll be joining the Raiders out there. I know the NBA's been in talks about potentially expanding and moving the team out there to Vegas. I think that's when it's really gonna get crazy. You put a bunch of the basketball players get paid too much money. Football players, yeah, some dudes is balling, but most of them dudes out there making $600,000-$700,000, maybe 1.2
Yes,
mil.
sir.
Dude on the
Yeah.
bench in the NBA might be getting $12 million a year, and he might
He ain't doing
play
nothing.
18 minutes a night. Man, that's
Yeah,
too
he ain't
much
doing
free
nothing.
time. He's in Vegas.
Yeah,
Y'all
they're
gonna
gonna be
keep
tricking
going
out
till one of these
there.
dudes get caught up in one of these rings or something out there, and then y'all gonna be wanting to complain and say all this stuff about Vegas. Y'all should have thought about that before y'all moved every team to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that'll be a good pickup though. Going back to football, I think that'll be a good pickup for the Raiders getting Ashton Genty out there, folks. Well, I want to go to some quick takes here on the show. As we know, it is March Madness going on right now. Y'all can see on the multi-view over here, we got games going. Kansas and Arkansas playing right now. That one is shaping up to be a good game so far. We got Yale right now taking on A&M. And right now, A&M holding it down. They're up 19-9. So they're not letting them
Okay.
Yale boys they're not letting the accountants beat up on them right now. But we know it's a long game. Still plenty of time left to go. Only 10:55 left to go here in the first half in that game. Plenty of games going on the March Madness side. Most of y'all brackets should be looking good. Mine's looking all right. You know, I took a loss with that McNeese one. But outside of that, my day one has looked good. I don't know what tomorrow's going to hold. Tomorrow's a whole different day, whole different side of the bracket, and that could mess up everything. But as of right now, my bracket is looking all right, man. I got some faith in my bracket right now. So a lot of good games going on in that. I want to go to some quick takes. Going back to a little bit of college football here.
Mhm.
Texas A&M picked up the 5-star receiver Micah Hudson that left and transferred from Texas Tech. Now reports are coming out that Micah Hudson is no longer with the Texas A&M football program. I think he was reported not missing, but he wasn't a participant in football activities a few weeks ago. And Mike Elko said, hey, he just needed some time to take off and think about some things. But of course, he'll be back here at A&M. Well, after spring break, now reports are coming out that Micah Hudson is no longer participating in football activities at Texas A&M and is possibly leaving to go back into the transfer portal. See, and we talked about this multiple times here on the show. This transfer portal, man, we talk about the NIL deal stuff, but this transfer portal is a blessing and a curse as well. I think it's great that guys can jump in the portal and go to a team that they can have success on, because before in the past, you just had to sit there and just rot. If you played, you played. If you didn't, you didn't. Coaches ruin people's football careers doing that. So now kids get a chance to go out there and play if they're not getting a shot. But some guys just take this stuff a little bit too far, man. The reports already came out, 4 or 5 months ago, talking about all this stuff that A&M was going to have to provide for Micah Hudson for him to even go there. And this is allegedly. I don't know. I haven't talked to Micah Hudson. Wayne, who's on the show, he knows a little bit of everybody, so he knows Micah Hudson's pops and all this stuff. But he didn't give me any information. I'm just going off the information that came from online. He wanted X amount of dollars, getting paid close to $2 million a year to be able to play. He wanted a driver. He needed a black truck. He needed all this kind of crazy stuff. Goes to A&M after leaving Texas Tech. Now he's going to be gone from Texas Tech too. From Texas A&M. First, before I go in and say anything else, hey, Baylor, I need y'all to get some of this money together. We can go get Jonte Cook and Micah Hudson. Y'all tripping. Y'all worried about problem kids. Y'all don't need to be worrying about problem kids. We need to be trying to figure out how we can get wins. Dave Aranda, send them boys out on the road, man. Put some money in there. Get some money in the pot. Baylor, reportedly, I don't know if that's real or not, reportedly Sawyer Robertson just got a bag at Baylor, the quarterback for Baylor. Shout out to Sawyer, man. So I hopefully that report is true, and he does get a bag. But we need to get some more of a bag and go get Micah Hudson and Jonte Cook. All right, but now that we got that off, what is Micah Hudson doing? Bro, I know you're a 5-star and we're living off all this 5-star stuff. That's cool. But you leave one program, now you're leaving another program. Each time, I think a star should get taken away when you keep transferring. You can't still be keeping being a 5-star and you don't transfer from 2 schools, now potentially 3 schools in 2 years.
Mhm.
Like, you got to get a star or something taken off. What you think about this situation, PJ?
Him and Jonte Cook, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Excuse my language, but they pissing me off.
No, for sure. They're tripping.
I don't understand. I don't understand these dudes, bro. And I really hate the transfer portal because this is what you get with the transfer portal. How do you commit to? I'm not saying he did, but we did see Jonte Cook pretty much get dismissed off of 2 schools in one off season. We just seen this kid pretty much leave 2 schools in one off season.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on in y'all brains to think that that is okay? What is making y'all think that that's a good look for y'all as far as in the future? Whenever you trying to go to another school, we cannot trust. I can't trust you to even if you do commit. You guys commit. When you commit, bro, that means you are committed to that program until further notice. It's not like it's not NCAA the game. This ain't no game. They spending money. They spending money on you dudes,
Bags.
bro. They spending big bags on y'all that they're not gonna make back. They're not gonna just make that back, you know what I mean, like tomorrow once you gone. They might not care just because these are institutions that have a lot of money, but still though, it's just the fact of, you know what I'm saying? Just be a man to your word. Once y'all sign off on these papers and stuff, bro, just be a man of your word, bro, and stay there at the school, man. Like, y'all have no reason to just be bouncing around like that. And then y'all gonna give yourselves a bad look, a bad reputation as far as whenever it's time for you to finally commit to another school and play. They're not gonna even be able to trust you because you run. You run. You know what I mean? Immediately whenever times are, you're running. You know what I mean? Y'all don't want to compete. Oh, you're running now. I'm gonna go to this school because they're not starting me. What work have you put in during spring football to even earn that starting position? Y'all living off a 5-star when it's 3-star dudes, 2-star dudes who don't work. Them dudes done grind it out and they better than you right now.
Facts.
And whenever y'all was in high school, you were the 5-star and they maybe was a 3-star, but they're better than you now.
Because ain't neither one of them played
This
no
kid,
ball.
Michael Hudson, he ain't even played no ball. Michael Hudson barely even got any touches this year.
Barely.
You really didn't even play. Jonte really didn't even play. Y'all boys haven't even really played. Like, y'all haven't really even played college football. Y'all barely got any touches. And y'all bouncing around like that. Y'all barely. Michael, I give Jonte this. He'd actually even played in some games. I've seen him catch a ball against Oklahoma and everything.
Oh, for sure.
I've seen him play. Michael, I have not seen Michael really play, bro.
No stats. No highlights.
His stats are insanely low. Like I think he only got like 5 catches this year, bro. That's not even exaggerating.
No, you're not exaggerating. It's something low. I'm gonna find it in a second, but it's something low.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Yeah, he gotta get it together. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, he got to get it together.
Yeah, like you said, leaving 2 programs in one off season is kind of crazy, man. Like, you're not getting in trouble like Jonte is, so their situations are a little bit different. But you gonna have to show somebody something if you keep demanding all this stuff, bro. If another school gives you another bag and you go out there, you got to perform. You got to live up to that. Now that we're doing the pay for play, we're not doing the NIL, we're not doing the name, image, and likeness. That's what y'all said it was gonna be, but that's clearly not what this is. This is pay for play, because dudes is out here getting paid. It had nothing to do with how many jerseys you're selling or how many endorsement deals you got. You're just getting paid. If Michael Hudson is gonna keep getting paid, you gotta live up to it. I'm rooting for Michael Hudson because he's a Central Texas product, straight out of Lake Belton.
Yeah.
So I'm rooting for the dude. I want him to do good. I want him to come back home. Like I said, Baylor, what's going on, bro? Let's throw a couple dollars out there to see if we can get both of these dudes. You pair them up with Josh Cameron, and then we got the other boy from Central Texas and Bryson Washington. Hey, let's come on. We can have something special going.
Let London them come in.
Yeah. We can have something special going, Baylor. So let's revisit that. But for Micah, you got to lock in, bro. Wherever you go next, if you are leaving A&M, because I didn't like that you went there anyway, because they're not going to throw the ball like that. They already got Marcel Reed who's going to be their quarterback. They're going to throw the ball 15 times a game. So I don't know why you was going there anyway.
Yeah.
But you got to lock in wherever your next destination is going to be if you are going to leave there. So Micah Hudson reportedly – go ahead.
8 receptions, 123 yards, 0 touchdowns for the season.
Yeah, that's not gonna get it done, Micah, and you know that. But that's part of the reason why you transferred. You thought they were gonna come in and give you the ball right away, but if you don't watch Texas Tech football for as long as I've been alive, they always got 4 or 5 receivers out there. They're not just gonna give you the ball just because you're the 5-star freshman coming in. You got to go out there and earn it.
You got the 4-star receiver out of Stephenville that's out there eating right now.
Corey Eakin is a monster. Corey Eakin has been ever since we watched him play Conley that one year when they came down here and he destroyed them. I mean, like we sitting right on the sideline watching live. I'm like, this dude is nice. Then Stephenville goes all the way to state and he's killing in the state game. Like I knew Corey Eakin was gonna be nice. He's out there putting in work, putting in time. But you come in as a 5-star, you feel like I'm better than him. I should be getting the ball more than him. They had 2 or 3 other senior guys out there that was getting the ball too. You should have known. Come on, man, you got to wait your time. Everybody wants stuff so instant. Don't run from the grind. Don't run from having to wait my turn, and then when I get out here and get my shot, yeah, I got it. Because now you're gonna leave the 2 or 3 other places with no guaranteed shot. You still don't know if you're gonna get the ball. We still don't know if you can produce like that as a player. So not saying that you can't. We just don't know that because you ain't did it yet. So we got to go out there and see that. But I'm excited to see where Micah Hudson goes. Like I said, Baylor, y'all need to try to get in on that. But reportedly, he's in the transfer portal. Hasn't been made official yet. But right now it's looking like Micah Hudson might be finding a new spot. Staying with some college football here in the quick takes, Colorado hires Brian Leftwich as a coach to come out there and join their coaching staff. This Colorado coaching staff is loaded. We already seen Warren Sapp has been out there now. We've already seen they just got Marshall Faulk to come out there and be the running backs coach, which is crazy because I guess, time goes by and people forget and everybody's just like, oh, Marshall Faulk is going. Like, this is one of the best running backs ever. Like, him being a coach is huge for your team. Now you're getting Brian Leftwich out there and people will say all type like, oh, Brian Leftwich, he wasn't this, he wasn't that. Man, Brian Leftwich was a good NFL quarterback for a decade. It's hard to do that. And he was the offensive coordinator on a team that won the Super Bowl when Tom Brady and them was out there. So, come on, he's got plenty of experience. Him bringing that experience to college to go in there with what they already got, I think that's a huge hire. What you think about Leftwich getting out there to Colorado?
I think that's a great hire. People got to stop with the nonsense, bro. Yeah. Brian Leftwich, was he a great quarterback in the league? No, but he was a really good quarterback in the league. He was a Pro Bowl quarterback in the league. Dude was a decent quarterback, most definitely. I don't understand that what you so you telling me that you got to be a really good player in order to be a coach, a good coach?
Clearly not, because it wouldn't be no coaches.
It wouldn't be no coaches. There are a lot of coaches who weren't that good or were that good and probably got injured. Or like I said at first, it's a lot of coaches that really weren't that good, but they know the game. That stuff that don't even correlate for real. I don't understand. I think that's a great hire for them. I think that he's going to be able to pour a lot of wisdom definitely into the young quarterback that they got right now, which I was actually watching some of their spring practice, some of the little videos yesterday with Quinn Gibson. He's looking very, very, very fast.
Lightning bolt.
Looking very fast. Yeah, he lightning fast. Like, I mean, I seen him catch a screen, bro, and took off. Like, he split the defense so fast. Like, he's looking really good. So I'm excited to see how Colorado's going to be looking. And I think that he's going to bring a lot of knowledge into that quarterback room for however long that he's going to be there, which is going to elevate them. Dion knows what he knows what he's doing right now. He's bringing in former NFL guys who can really teach those young dudes how to really just become young men, bro. Outside of just football, it's just how to become young men, and operate on a professional level. So I'm excited to see how this is gonna go.
Yeah, I watched a lot of their stuff, man, over the last year. A lot of their content and stuff that they put out, they really are big on character development. That's why you don't hear about a lot of people doing crazy stuff out there in Colorado the last couple of years since Dion has been there. That's why they had to get a kid like Cormani McClain out of their program, because they don't care that you're the top corner or that you're top 10 prospect. You got to abide by the rules, or else, because that's how it is at the next level. All them stars, that stops meaning stuff when you graduate high school. It means a little bit of something maybe when you're a couple years into college, but by the time you're a senior, that stars don't matter. You can't take the stars with you to the draft. You can't take your rival's grade to the draft with you. That clearly doesn't work.
Your stars don't even matter as soon as you become a freshman in college.
It don't matter anymore. Because as long as somebody else is on the team with you, if they outwork you, they got your spot. Whether there was a 0-star or a 5-star. And Coach Prime have been doing a great job. Bringing in Leftwich is huge to me because they already got 2 really good quarterbacks there. I've been watching their
Yeah,
stuff, and first off, y'all should know about Salters because he's been tearing it up at Liberty for a couple of years now. So he's a really
definitely.
good quarterback coming into that program. He's got
Texas
somebody
Sparta.
right on the back of his heels with Julian Lewis, man. That dude can play. I've been watching their little stuff in the offseason, and we'll see
He's
more.
throwing dimes. He's
Man,
throwing
dimes.
dimes.
The dude can play, and then they gonna add Gibson to that receiver room out there to go along with Amari and Miller, to go along with Draylen Miller, and you add Gibson into
Yeah.
that too. I was already thinking before, like, this might be maybe they might come down a little bit next year for Colorado because of the losing so many seniors. They lost their whole receiving core. You lose Shador and Travis Hunter, who are your two best players. So I'm thinking, maybe they won't be as good. But watching them and the coaching staff adds that they're adding, watching the players that they're adding through the transfer portal, Colorado got another one coming up, in my opinion. Big 12 got to look out. We didn't see nobody dominant. Arizona State snuck up on everybody and got the win. But we know Arizona State
No,
going to fall back off.
they're gonna fall back out.
Scatterboo not coming back. I like the young dude, Levet. He's a nice young quarterback and all that. But Scatterboo was the reason they was winning them games. He's not coming back. Big 12 is wide open once again. Colorado is going to be one of those teams right in the mix, just like they were this year. They're going to be another one of those teams right in the mix once again, man. So I'm excited to see Colorado. Their spring game is coming up soon. I'm excited to see how that goes. And you seen they was talking about they want to play somebody for their spring game, which I think more teams should do. Nobody wants to go out there and play ones versus twos versus ones
I hate
the
it.
whole
I hate it.
time.
I hated having to play each other, man, in the spring game, man, because
Yeah.
everybody know each other's tendencies, and at the same time, I know people see us out there, see you out there playing or whatever, but we were never playing at our hardest in the spring game. Ever.
No. And like you said, you
Like,
playing against your homeboys. It's the ones versus the twos.
yeah,
Most of the times they know your cadences, they know your plays. It's cool. I don't even really watch past the first quarter, honestly, in the spring game. So I'm with Dion. Play somebody. I seen the head coach from Syracuse said, we'll come out there and play you. It was another school that said, we'll come out there and play you. A couple of schools that said, we'll come out there and play you. So I think teams should do something like that.
that'll be hey, that's gonna change a lot of things, bro. If they're able to do something like that, I would love to see that. And I feel like a lot of people would.
It will be like the little scrimmages they do in the NFL in the preseason. They get the couple practices the joint practices. It just be like a little joint practice.
Yeah, like high school, we scrimmaged in high school.
Exactly.
We scrimmaged other teams in high school. So yeah, might as well.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's something they should look at doing. But Colorado on their way to doing big things out there. Back to some basketball here. March Madness. Duke, number 1 seed. They got the number 1 player in the nation, and Cooper Flagg, who reclassified. I'll be forgetting that he reclassified. This dude is still 17. He's probably the best player in college basketball right now. But he is going to play tomorrow in their game. They're playing the 16 seed. I forget the team they're playing, but they're playing somebody that they're going to smack. He hurt his ankle and didn't play the last couple of games in the ACC tournament. I thought Cooper Flagg should have sat out, for a little bit and then just came back or not played at all because you're going to be number 1 pick, bro. Do you want to be in the NBA and making a lot of money, or do you want to come out here and help your team? So I get it. He wants to come back and help his team win. But the 16 seed, bro, they don't need you to do that. They just won the ACC championship with you not playing. They can beat whoever the 16 seed is. I understand them trying to ramp him up and get him in shape and all that kind of stuff, but don't do anything to jeopardize your future in this tournament or your future going into the draft for sure.
Yeah. I wouldn't play him. I wouldn't play him. Even if he was to be like, Coach, well, I'm good, I can play, I wouldn't play him. Y'all playing the 16 seed, so you don't really need
good.
him.
You're going to smack them boys. Like we don't need you out there, so maybe they'll just get him out there 10 minutes at the max, man. Play the dude 10 minutes. 5 minutes in the first half, 5 in the second. Just let him get his lungs back together. You only really get in shape by playing basketball, so let him go out there, get his lungs back hot, get warmed up, get ready to go, see how his ankle is feeling. But don't play this dude no extensive minutes, man. Y'all don't need him to be able to beat whoever the 16 seed is out there. So that game is tomorrow. If he decides not to play, that's cool because I was hoping that he would sit out in the second game. Because in the second game, if Baylor beats Mississippi State, that's what they be playing is Duke, and then maybe Baylor can get a win. But that's just me being a fanboy for Baylor. That ain't me actually wanting. I want to see Cooper Flagg go out there and play, man. He's one of the best players in college basketball, and he's gonna be the number 1 pick regardless. He honestly could probably break his ankle, and he'll probably still be the number 1 pick in the draft when the NBA draft comes up. Folks, since I spoke about the NBA there, like I said, Luka and his new look Lakers team looking good. NBA in full effect. The Thunder looking good right now. SGA still on his MVP race. The Boston Celtics, just coming off a championship, have sold their franchise for 6.1, a record-breaking $6.1 billion, the highest team sale in American sports. $6.1 billion, sources say. They haven't come out with the official statement, but Bill Chisholm, not sure who that is, but I'm sure it's somebody that's very rich because they bought the team for $6.1 billion. Buys the Celtics. Now, I get it. Some people are saying, why would you sell the Celtics? That's a dumb move. Why would you? Bro, they just won a championship. Their evaluation is as high as it's going to get. Whoever owns the Celtics before, I'm sure is another old guy with a bunch of money. He's not going to be here to be like, oh, let's pass the Celtics down. No, let me cash in right now. I can pass this money down to my grandkids and great-grandkids. I don't got to worry about passing the Celtics down to them because one of them is probably going to sell it anyway. So let me just go ahead and sell it and get it off my hands while we're at the top of our evaluation because we're coming off a championship. Then they're the most historic team in the NBA. Them are the Lakers. So they sold for a record-breaking $6.1 billion. One, I was just like, man, that's crazy. $6 billion is a lot to sell a team for. But as soon as I seen the number, all I could think about is, man, how much would the Cowboys sell for? They might sell for $20 billion. If the Celtics are selling for $6 billion, the Cowboys might sell for $20 billion. Like that's crazy to think. How much would the Lakers sell for? Because the Lakers are in LA.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to live in Boston as much as they love the team and all that, and they're historic. Nobody wants to live in Boston. The Lakers will probably sell for about 10, maybe 12 billion. The Cowboys had to sell for 20. I know they'll never do it.
I was going to say 20 billion.
Like that's crazy. $6 billion is a lot of money, and that is the record for the most a team has sold for. But if the Cowboys ever went for sale, oh my God.
I wish that this motivated Jerry Jones to, he likes to one up everybody. I wish that he would just sell the team right now to try to one up that,
Man, Jerry Jones so janky, he'll put the team out there for sale just so he can say a number and then keep it.
Yeah, I promise he would. I promise he would.
He's so janky. I could have sold the team for $20 billion, but gonna keep it right in this Jones family instead. So no, he ain't never gonna sell the team. I don't think Steven gonna sell the team. It's gonna be up to whatever it is that boy that played quarterback at Highland Park. He gonna be the one to sell the team. Because Steven and Jerry ain't sell it. No, none of them want the Cowboys, man. They don't care about that stuff like that. They cool with being rich, and they already rich.
That mean we got another 40 years, man.
We might got another 40 with Jerry. Jerry might just buy another life. He got too much bread. I don't know what's and he really only 70-something. I thought Jerry Jones was 70-something when I was 7. That was 20 something years ago.
Ain't no way, bro. Hold on.
Bro, I'm gonna look it up. Jerry Jones is only 70-something. Oh, okay, he's 82. But think about that, 82. I thought he was 82 and 92. I thought he was 82.
90s, yeah, 90s. 2000 something.
So I might got another 20 years with Jerry. We don't know what's going on with the Cowboys. But yeah, that's honestly the first thing I thought about when the Celtics sold their franchise. I was like, man, who knows what random number they would sell the Cowboys for. I mean, it would be ridiculous. They're the most watched thing on television. Folks, that was the Celtics. They're selling their team out there. So Chisholm Group will be the new owners of the Boston Celtics. I still got the Celtics as a favorite to win the championship, even though they're second in the East. I don't believe in Cleveland yet. Cleveland got to go out there and prove it to me. If they beat Boston, that'll be cool. I don't like any Boston team, so I'm never going to be rooting for them to win. I don't care. I don't like the Boston Red Sox, the Boston Celtics. I don't like the Patriots. I don't like the Bruins. I can't even think of another sport. I think the hockey team is ain't that the Bruins?
That's the Bruins. Yeah, we don't like none of them.
I don't care what team they get out there. They could get a cricket team. I wouldn't like them either. So, but I do like Jason Tatum. I do like Jalen Brown. I definitely like Jalen Brown, just the stuff he stands for off the court, as well as what he does on the court too. But the Celtics still my favorites to come out. Yeah, Drew out there. That's still my favorites to come out in the East, and still my favorites to win the championship. Until somebody beat them, that's going to be my favorites. But they'll have some new bosses. I think the deal won't take place until the offseason, but they already got stuff in the works and moving forward. Folks, we got a couple minutes here left on the show. Just want to look at a couple of these games here tonight. We'll look at the NBA. Only a couple games on in the NBA because obviously it is March Madness going on. Brooklyn and Indiana playing right now on NBA TV. No idea how that game is on NBA TV. At the 9 o'clock game on NBA TV. They know it's March Madness and nobody's gonna be watching. That's why. Because the 9 o'clock game is
Yeah.
Chicago versus Sacramento. I
Okay.
would come on, man. I'd rather watch one of them dating shows on Netflix than watch that. And I don't even watch Netflix. But that's terrible. Sacramento versus Chicago on television. Why is that game being televised? Is this somebody
That's
from?
crazy.
Is it like what? I don't know how that's even on TV because the Lakers and Bucks are playing tonight. I thought that was a late game. That's the only reason I even brought it up. But that's not that game not going to be on TV. But that's the 9:30 game. Luka's been playing great.
They got the Lakers and the Bucks on TV.
Not on TV, bro. I guess because it's March Madness, so I kind of get it, but I kind of
I
don't.
get it, but yeah, that's okay.
I don't know how that's not the game on TV. But the Bucks been playing good. Giannis averaging a double-double, 30 points, 12 rebounds out there as well. Luka's been playing great. Just had 20 in the first quarter last night in the game. And he back to talking noise. See, I'm seeing Luka get comfortable. When he starts calling dudes sorry and Slovenian and all that, that's when I know that he's starting to get comfortable and he's starting to get back to it, back to his regular self now. So he's been hooping as of late. What you think about this Bucks and Lakers game, even though it's not going to be on TV?
I think it's gonna be a decent game. Is LeBron's still not playing, right?
Yeah, LeBron is out, so the Bucks are an 8-point favorite in the game. But I still kind of like the Lakers in this one. They playing at home.
I like the Lakers. I like the Lakers because Damian Lillard hasn't really he's been down lately, man. I don't know what's going on. He got to figure it out.
And he's battling injury right now. So he's a game time
Yeah.
decision. Oh, never mind. I see why they're 8-point. Luka's not playing tonight, so never mind. That's why it's not on TV, y'all. I figured it out.
All right,
midstream.
they
Why
might
it's not on
lose, man.
TV?
They might lose, man.
No, they
But,
losing because Austin Reeves is out too. They
losing.
losing.
Yeah.
They might get
Okay,
blown out
that's
tonight. Matter of fact, so that's why that game's not on TV. I had to figure that one out. In person, let's switch back over to some of these March Madness games. The games going on right now. Some good ones going on right now. Arkansas and Kansas, a really good one going on right now. That game is close, 47-44. Arkansas got a lead at halftime, so that's a really close game, which I expected it to be. Calipari versus Bill Self, two coaching legends playing in the first round. We usually don't even see them playing in the first round. That game going on. Your Yale Bulldogs, man, they're hanging in there with A&M. 27-35 is the score. A&M with the lead right now, but it's still the first half. So, it's March Madness. We know something crazy is going to happen eventually. Could be in that game. We could see the accountants start knocking down some threes for the Yale Bulldogs here, taking on A&M because A&M not a great shooting team. And Drake versus Missouri going on right now. This is one of my 11-6 teams that I picked. I picked Drake to get the upset in this one against Missouri. So that game going on True TV. Any of these other games that you're looking forward to or that you've already watched here so far today, PJ?
Man, I've been looking at so many.
We talked about that McNeese one. Yeah, that was crazy. They threw me off with that. I thought Clemson was going to be able to get it done, but I should have known better for betting on Clemson anything other than football.
Yeah.
Like, Clemson ain't never good. I don't even know who's been in the league from Clemson. Like, yeah. So
honestly, in basketball, I don't know either. I don't know either. I'm gonna have to look that up too. But we talked about it a little bit earlier, but Gonzaga beating Georgia the way they did, it's Gonzaga, man. You gotta respect Gonzaga. Always gotta respect.
Always gotta respect them. Yeah. Their coach, one of the great coaches in basketball.
Yeah.
Storied program. Even though they had a down year, so they put them as an 8 seed. But I knew they smack up on Georgia. Georgia ain't never been good at basketball. Like, what are we talking about? I'm not going to pick Georgia in the basketball. And then they wasn't even good this year. They won them like we said earlier. One of them SEC teams just got thrown in there. But the game started out like 14-3. So I knew what it was going to be from tip off in that one. So still lots of good games to come on here tonight. That Utah State versus UCLA is a good one. That's another one that I picked an upset for Utah State to come out there and get a win. One that everybody's tuning in, one that a lot of people picked for an upset in the 12-5 matchup is Michigan taking on University of California, San Diego. UCSD was 30-4 this year, so that's a lot of the reason why they picked them. But I like the way that Michigan finished off the conference tournament, getting all the way to the Big Ten championship game. So I still like Michigan in that one. But that's one that a lot of people picked for an upset in that 5-12 matchup. So still some really good games coming on. Obviously, Baylor playing tomorrow, playing Mississippi State. We'll be locked in and tuned in for that game. hoping Baylor can step up and go get a win, man. They took some tough L's this year and some really close games, like that Houston game I felt like they should have won. The Arizona game I felt like they should have won. They had some really close games, and we just need to keep beating up on the SEC because they keep trying to make the SEC be the best basketball conference, and we know that ain't the real deal. Tech, a Big 12 team, playing tonight. They got the last game of the night. They're playing UNC Wilmington. Yeah, that game will be on. I got Tech obviously winning that game. JT Toppin is serious business out there. So some really good games coming on here tonight, folks. Getting ready to sign off here today. I want to thank everybody for tuning in with us today on Centex Primetime. Still got plenty more to talk about as we get through the rest of this entire weekend here of March Madness. When we come back Monday, we'll have a full slate of games to be able to talk about. Both sides of the bracket. We'll get through 2 rounds of the playoffs by the time we get back here on Monday. Once again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. If you haven't already, go to the YouTube and subscribe. Centex Sports TV on YouTube. You can also watch this on Facebook, Centex Sports TV, on Twitter or X, whichever one you want to call it, at Centex Sports TV. Also, go to the website, CentexSportsNetwork.com. Check us out on there. And you can also go back and catch some of that Region 5 action that we watched last year. Shout out to the MCC women's team as they will be playing next Friday in the national tournament after they got the win in the Region 5 tournament last week. So expecting some more big things out of them and Coach Candace Thomas out there as well. Signing off here today, folks, as we're out of time, is Jalen Gillis. Want to thank PJ for jumping on the show with us. We will see you guys on Monday. Everybody have a great evening.